Follow me, sons of Sigmar, for the Empire! Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and normally for that intro I would be holding like a big old battle hammer. But unfortunately I don't have that on short notice, so I had to settle for a Power Ranger sword. Yeah, that's what that was. Anyways, for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a Discord AMA that was put up by their community manager, breaking down lots of community questions for Warhammer Odyssey. And quick shout out to Sathrox, who is the person that actually gave me this information or showed me it so that I could make this video. I have also started my own Discord server, so if anybody is thinking about playing Warhammer Odyssey, or just anybody from my YouTube community that wants to join, I will link that in the description below. Alright, let's get on to this AMA. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. Here we go. Alright, so let's jump right into this. Right now I'm on Reddit. This is a breakdown from the Discord Community Manager's AMA, and his name is Definitus. I think I'm saying it right. I don't know, I'm probably saying it wrong. And on here there is a lot of questions, and I wish I had the time to read all of them, but I am going to be skipping around a little bit and trying to focus on the questions that I feel are most pertinent to the game. But I will link this in the description below, so that if you want to go back and read every single question, or if I talk too fast, because I'm going to also be paraphrasing, you can do that. Link will be at the bottom. And don't forget to join my Discord. Alright, first question. What feature most excites you? Dungeons. Cool, I like dungeons. Are there any plans for player or guild housing? No. Will there be raids or just 5-man dungeons? There will be both open world and boss encounters. I like that. Kind of reminds me of Lineage 2. Will there be playable evil races in the future? No. At least no plans right now. What is your monetization plan? Now, I knew this question was going to come up super early in this because everybody wants to know, is this game going to be pay to win? What does the microtransactions look like? Anytime you're talking about a mobile game, that is always top of mind. Now, their answer is very interesting. It says convenience items and cosmetics. I mean, cosmetics are cool. Everybody does cosmetics. It's like an easy way to make money, right? Fortnite changed the world. But convenience features, that is something different, because a convenience item could be like the fastest mount, so you can move from place to place. But also that fastest mount means that you can track down and kill other people from a PvP perspective. So convenience items, it's not very detailed, so I don't know what that really means. But at least in my example, mounts aren't really in the Warhammer lore, so I don't know if they're going to be in this game. Are race classes limited to specific races? Like, can I be an elf with a warrior or mage build? Classes are specific to their race. Okay, so what that means, if you don't understand, is let's say you want to be a slayer. That means you have to be a dwarf. You cannot be a human or an elf, like you have to pick it. So it is very specific. What does PvP look like? We're not focused on PvP right now, but at the start you can friendly duel with other players. Okay, that's cool. Dueling's fun because it actually does gauge which character class is going to be the best in PvP. It helps you hone in on your skills. You can kind of talk trash, and normally dueling, there's no, like, you don't get anything for it, but you don't lose anything for it. How will the endgame be? Gear will mostly, how will the endgame be? Are you going to be able to grind for points to exchange for gear? Gear will mostly be acquired from grinding or dungeons, and possibly faction vendors. Okay, that's cool. That's very action RPG of them. Well, no. That's not oh, look at this. Any plans for mounts? Mounts are not really a thing in the Warhammer lore. I just said that. But it doesn't mean there won't be any in the future, but not at the beginning. Okay. Any devs that are listening to me right now, even just one of you, do not add anything into this game that is not in the Warhammer lore. One thing that everybody that follows Warhammer knows, that the lore is very extensive and mass, and it's huge. It's one of the most in-depth games there is. So don't go off the script because you think it'll be cool for the game or you want to make money. Figure out a different way. We're going to skip character customization. I've already made a video on character customization, and I will link that at the end of this video. How many maps will there be at launch? 10. Will combat be more traditional tab target type combat, action combat, or a mix? Tab targeting doesn't work well on mobile. That's true. You don't have a tab key. So it's close to auto target, but you can touch other NPCs to switch. All right, that's not too bad. How are we going to be able to access the beta? Is it a random selection? Now, I've gotten this question a lot, and I've actually asked this question a lot. So on Warhammer Odyssey's official Discord, they have talked about the beta, and it could be as early as this week. It's supposed to be really, really soon, okay? And what they're doing is it's going to be a short, closed beta, and if you want to get into it, you have to be active in their community. So it's not very detailed about how they're selecting people, but if you're on your Discord, if you're active, if you're on the forums, if you've been around and you're trying to get a beta key, you've got a shot at it. This is a longer question. Are subclasses going to be really big deal? Like picking one subclass over the other is going to completely alter your playstyle? Or is it more of a specialization in one aspect or the other with smaller differences? Your specialization does determine your playstyle. Some class specs are a lot different than other compared to others. Example, Shadow Warrior. Okay, so specialization is going to be super important, and that's probably going to determine the differences between characters. Oh, this is an important question. Will Slayers have different tattoo sets? Yes, that's nice. Gear. So this is also interesting. Are there plans for crafting system for your gear? No. I mean, I guess it says not at launch, so maybe that's going to come later, but no crafting when the game drops. That's really interesting in an MMO. How much loot can I expect to run per dungeon? Not sure. They're still working on that system. A lot of the questions on here, it says he doesn't know or he's not working, or they're not working on the system for that part yet. And with those answers, it is a little scary because if he can't even answer that, like, it's fine if he doesn't know. I'd rather take that answer to, like, we're not working on that yet, because that shows this game is not as close to launch as we wish it was. Will we be able to expect company versus company content in the future? Yes. That is very important. Is there going to be an EU and US server, or is it just all one server? We're still considering breaking it up into regions or keep it global. Will there be hobbies like fishing and cooking? Not at launch. Are there plans to adding artillery? Not at launch. Would you do another one of these questions and answers before launch? Yes. Are we going to be able to emulate? No, that's not important. Will there be solo content or the game more focused on group content? Will rewards come from the strongest mobs? You'll need a group to do that. How developed is PvE? It's their main focus, so a lot. What will be the theme of the cosmetics? We have a really cool dye system. That doesn't sound very cool. And color schemes come from major factions and other lore-based groups. Good. Keep using that word. Lore-based groups. But more on that later. Is there a level cap at launch? It's 50. So level 50 is the maximum you can go to. I really like this question. I wouldn't even have thought of it. Will there be any sort of concept of verticalness? For example, the ability to jump or climb ledges. Yes. That is pretty cool. A lot of mobile games it's not. You just run into the trees and you just kind of go around. So I do like that. Will there be any map that is open world PvP? Maybe some zones, but not the entire map. Will the general worth of currency be fitting to Warhammer lore? Or will we be swimming in gold? It's a player-driven economy, so you can have as much as you want if you put in the effort. We don't control the prices. Ooh, I guess I'd rather have it that way. I think of like the Diablo 3 initial auction house. No good. Any plans for some kind of evergreen content to keep people engaged at Endgame, or will it be mostly static content, dungeons, raids, world bosses at release? No additional info at this time. They're trying not to pitch negative, so that makes sense. How will death be dealt in this game? Do you lose items, XP, money? No, this isn't a survival game. Okay, so if you die, there is nothing lost. So death won't have any penalties. Don't die in Warhammer Odyssey. They are incapacitated, but you won't be able to abuse that fact. Wow. You cannot die in this game. You probably just like dropped to one knee or something. How interesting. Okay, this video is getting long and boring, so I'm going to do 3 more questions and then get out of here. Okay, if you want to read the other 25% that I skipped, again, I'm going to link this in the description below. So how roleplay will this be? Will we be able to choose directions to go/responses to make in a quest, or will it be like CH where there is basically only one choice? Just the plain quest conversation are pretty straightforward. So most mobile MMOs, it's very... You're not even reading it. You're just clicking next, next, next so you can get the next target to run to. I'm hoping that the lore and storyline of this game is good, because the first time I ever run through it, I make sure that I read everything, and then I'll do a video on like, what was this story all about? So we'll see, but I'm sure it's going to be fairly straightforward. Funny question. Will the XP gain be public, meaning you don't have to be in a group to gain XP from other kills? Answer, no. Lazy. Could you imagine that? You're not even in the group and you're getting XP by being next to them based upon their kills. Everyone would just stand in the middle of the map and then log out, and then everybody, you just get kills from that. That's ridiculous. Last questions. Can players create their own company flags or banners? Not at launch, but it's on the table for Guilds 2.0. Warhammer Odyssey, we want as much customization as possible so that our company looks different than everybody else's. So please put time and effort into that, because it is definitely important. All right, switch over so you don't have to stare at the text anymore, and I figure I'd throw up my Road Dog Warrior Priest, because that's what I'm gonna roll when this game drops. Okay, final thoughts. How did I think the AMA went? I liked it. I think some questions, they didn't give enough specifics, especially around monetization, but for the rest, I liked that they answered everything they could, and they were honest about the stuff that they don't know. So I think it was good, and I'm excited he's going to do another one before the game officially launches. Let's just hope at some point we could actually get a release date soon so we know when to expect this game. So those are kind of my thoughts. I do have to say, though, you know, I have played a lot of mobile MMOs, and so far I don't see a huge difference between Warhammer Odyssey and some of those other ones. I love the Warhammer universe. I love that there's no autoplay on this, but you know, the dungeons, the raids, all that type of stuff, it is, you know, I don't want to say generic, but it is kind of fit the formula of how most mobile MMOs go. So I do hope that they throw something different in there. I hope that the company versus company battles, I hope that's different. I really do hope there's PvP areas, because that's always fun if you're like bored and you don't have anything to do. You gather your group and then you just start chasing down other people. So, you know, you need stuff that fill that time. I also hope that they don't build this game, and I haven't seen it yet, based upon a very low graphics engine that could play on any mobile device. Like, I hope they up it a little bit, and you do have to have a modern phone, iPad, tablet, whatever it is, so that the game's graphics are appealing on mobile, and then that also will help if they try to port it over later. So that's really all I've got for this video. I'll say it for the 3rd time. If you are looking for a group of players to be able to jump in this game at launch and have a dedicated group of people with leadership trying to be one of the better mercenary companies on the server at launch, shoot me an email, leave me a comment, or join the Discord. Right now we already have over 20 members, and I just made this thing 3 days ago. And on top of that, if you don't plan on joining this game and you just want to be a part of the community just for chats and topics and general game news, join it as well. Okay, that's all I got. Stay home, stay safe. Aaron, out.